Welcome, everybody. Good morning and have a wonderful time. It's really nice to see that weekend people have come and try to learn something good, which made us always to do every week something or other new. So this topic was actually first time I'm doing, and it is of course we do day in and day out. But the webinar when we are doing on financial legacy, it's really made me to do a good research on overall level, and that's the one of the reason when I was making this presentation I realized that I will divide this webinar into two parts, because if I'm going to take care of a cash flow normally takes quite a longer than the. So today we will take care of the concept, facts, figures, surveys, whatever I have received, and thanks to three main research paper which I got it by JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Sun Life. So these three are the one of the core things where the surveys has done, and I'm going to project to you all of you. I was just when I was reading, doing that, I realized 95 to 96% we always do. We may be aware, but we are not seen the numbers. So sometimes number will make us think that okay, it's a good time to do it. Of course, there's a lot many stories which we I'm going to share it, including my mom's and ours itself. So I'm going to divide this into two parts, especially on how the retirement planning people does, and then you make it a corpus, how you create and make a financial freedom from a retirement planning. So word retirement is becoming too negative. Somebody told me, and even though I didn't realize it, this is I don't want to be called as a retiree or I am old. So because people associate retirement with an old, and now the fundamental of retirement is that maybe you are having a passive income to make sure that you like to do what you wanted to do, or you are making sure that you have an alternative income, so you are able to go and out of the corporate world of 9 to 6 or the job. So now people started moving from retirement income to the alternative income or a passive income. There is no way association what it was before with the 58 or 60 years old has to take care of a retirement planning, because the no other than Anil itself has been one of the person who said that he retired at the age of 30. So this is the one of the what you call article which is published in 2007, where Anil, he is the founder and CEO of Right Horizons. Good, bad, ugly. He is my husband also. So I know him very well before this article came. So we both being in a college mate. So I know him from the age of 16. So he was very, very clear that he wanted to start his own. And I'm talking about maybe in 1988 or 90 type. And there where we has told that yes, I have to create a corpus and make sure that I have an alternative income. And he has given his timeline at 35. And we have, I remember we have gone to all insurance company everywhere that do you have any product which will give a income from 35 years, and all used to laugh because we were just around 21, 22 that time. So they used to laugh that why you wanted an alternative income or a pension or annuity by 35. So he was being his own passion. So he says, okay, we have to make an alternative income. So make a corpus that much that whatever is a lifestyle, even if I don't get any income from the new venture, I will be able to sustain my lifestyle without an income from me or alternative means spouse by itself. So he was able to successfully do 5 years before, and he started Right Horizon in 2003. And God grace, we have been doing amazingly good, and we are completing 20 years in this October. So that's a life story by itself, which says that if we plan in advance, when I meet lot many people, that's the best part of my job, and I love that. That you meet a lot of people, you know what is their thoughts, what is this, and when I go to the corporates or webinars or something, so people says we are in just in 20s, we are in 30s, we are too young to think about the retirement. And when I meet the people in 40s, they say, Rachna, why you didn't meet me early? Because it's too late. So sometimes I always says things comes from the age. It's not that something, but of course there are few people who knows quite well. Anil is one of them, that he started planning maybe in 20s. So that's the one thing I wanted to share it, that most of the time when we start planning in advance, it makes it much more easier than anything else. We don't have to prolong and say that okay, retirement is in, because the thought of retirement at 55 and 58 is gone. Now retirement is what you love to do irrespective of whatever money you want. That is the best part. So financial fitness here is you have an alternative income. For example, we need around 1 lakh a month. I have a corpus which is giving me 1 lakh a month, which is inflation linked till my age of 85. So however I want to spend time, I wanted to spend time in a teaching, I want to spend time in doing some other work. Of course it's giving you money, it's a bonus, but you are stress free to being called retire. So here word is not, I always believe that not a retirement planning as such. You are making your alternative income to take care of your overall lifestyle, and you do what you love to do. That is what I call a retirement. So these are the facts which has come from ET Wealth, which we talks about that how most of it. So we have a lot of interns. So one interns came and I asked her, why you are doing here. So she says, no, my dad is a your customer, and my dad says, okay, why don't you do internship? So I said, wow, that's a nice thing that you are learning overall level and trying to understand what your dad's portfolio and how you're going to do. So she was telling, I don't understand why somebody should invest so early. And that is the one of the reason. She says, no, my dad has have so much of money, so why I should, of course, earn more money. So that most of the time these questions keeps coming, and that's my one of the fear also. The next generation, our generation, have not seen our parents have so luxury of money. So I think so we spend less and saved quite a lot, and god grace all of us in our age is having a good corpus. But the next generation, they have seen the parents like they're born with a golden spoon, so they have not seen the scarcity of the money and they don't give the importance. So that's another thing which we have to find it out. But our generation didn't have the deferred payment, or we call the annuity or regular money. So that is the one of the things which we are trying to say, that Indian retirement index is at 44, which is very low. Of course, there are countries which have the retirement. They are also struggling. You can think of UK. They said they cannot manage. They'll give you the full money. 401 is you manage however it you want. Australia is not able to do. They are extending the retirement age from 60 to 65. Now they are proposing to 70. It's very tough. But yes, we need to make sure how we are investing for a retirement. I keep telling people that for other things you have a loan, there is nothing loan for a retirement. I hope things comes faster. Today when we were walking, that topic came, of course, because I keep talking about what is a webinar and get other people's view. So reverse mortgage is one of the way normally in other countries people use it, but in ours it's not. It becomes so common to start using a reverse mortgage. If that happens, it will be the very nice for the regular income also. So here we are trying to say that most of us are not investing enough for retirement. Previously, I used to feel little happy. At least PF is going 12% from our side and 12% from employer. And the time they have made not mandatory and having only 1800 mandatory, now people may get it in hand more, but they're not realizing that they are not getting the retirement corpus, which we must have got it much better and bigger and then to tax free kind of it. Some things which we need to understand what is good in a long term versus short term. Being my dad in army, so I keep teasing him quite a lot, and I used to tell him that you never got so much of salary, but your pension is much more than what you must have earned in that full 30 40 years, whatever. So what I have realized is that deferred payment, the long term payment, we don't focus sometimes, and that's where we should start looking for. So this is some of the facts from ET Wealth itself. I'm continuing. So 7 out of 10 experts accept their child to support them in their retirement. That's another way it is going slowly, but yes. When I speak with lot many people, I go to the old age home and quite a lot, and speak with them. And when I start asking them, then they will always say that no, I don't have a money, or people who are in this, I expect my kids to take care. And that is our one generation up. But the good thing is, at least when I do the financial planning with our generation and till 55, 60, they always are very clear that I should be independent in financial. If I'm staying emotionally, that's the best thing, it's a bonus for you, but financially we should be independent. And how we can become independent, there are, of course, you, I'm assuming you must have taken care in the while you're working, to make sure that you are saving, and whatever corpus you get it, you make sure that you put it across and start giving a regular income. This is a very good, I can say, thought process. We have to trigger it. Only 18% of Indian investors think the retirement as a priority. Very, very low. So whenever I have gone, done most of the, at least I can say till 35 age, nobody will start thinking of retirement, and they will say priority number 3 or 4. And then by the time the investment surplus comes, it will goes to 1 and 2 only. So I was thinking, when this is the one of the reason, sometimes we should make sure passively, make sure that opt for a PF at 12% at least. So you know that over the period you may be having a good investment for a retirement or something. But when even in our office, in our other place, when I go, a lot of people will say, no, I don't want a PF, or I wanted a minimum PF. And that our aspirations are so high nowadays. The lifestyle has gone so high, but investment is going because they want in hand or instant. So everybody want everything in instant then and there. So 76% of working age of the India expect comfortable retirement life. What do you mean by comfortable? Means the same lifestyle what you were working. And 33% is only putting things aside. So that's today again, I'm sure all of you must have heard or read quite a lot, because this was one of the biggest case study in a family office in financial side, that Raymond's father, who made 6,000 crores as an empire, and he gave the will as a living, and then he realized that the kids have asked him to go out, and he was at footpath. So he has given the, of course, he's put a case on a Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has given an, I think so. The good thing is they have given in favor of the father, that because he is a living person, he can revoke the full whatever will again. So sometimes I always believe that it's nothing wrong to give some percentage of it to wherever you want, to society or kids and other things. But at least make sure that much of corpus you should always have, what is required for your whatever lifestyle. And on an average, I have seen, when I do the cash flow, quite a lot of 40 people are there whom we are paying every month as a regular income. It takes from 65 to 5 lakhs on an average, depending on the lifestyle. So that corpus you should not allow to touch. You should make sure that is my regular income I'm coming, and the rest, whenever you want to give to your kids or charity or anything, you should be able to do that. So I'll just have a small video. Please let me know if you are able to hear.
Are you worried about how to manage your finances after retirement? What if there was a solution that could help you maintain a steady income without worrying about your savings running out? With the SWP, you can now withdraw a fixed amount of money from your mutual fund investments at regular intervals, ensuring a stable income throughout your retirement years. No more second guessing or sleepless nights, wondering if your savings will be enough to cover your expenses. The SWP is designed to address the main problem faced by retirees, the fear of exhausting their savings too soon. By setting up a regular withdrawal plan, You can enjoy the fruits of your investments while still having peace of mind knowing that your funds will last. Imagine the freedom and security of having a consistent income stream that allows you to enjoy your retirement to the fullest. With our systematic withdrawal plan, you can achieve just that. Take control of your financial future today by opting for the SWP. Start your stress-free retirement journey and ensure a lifetime of financial stability. Sign up now.
So I have always felt it. It is, of course, for me also. It is retire from last 15 years. The time I have been working in Right Horizons. So I always believe that there's nothing rocket science about it. How we start investing early as possible. Earlier you invest, you are able to achieve much more with a smaller amount, because it's the one thing which is called as a miracle is like a power of compounding. And this itself says that if somebody have started investing around age of 25 with a monthly SIP of 5,000, invested for 35 years, total investment is only 21 lakhs, but he got 5.7 crore, versus the person who was age of 35, started even 15,000 SIP and invested for 25 years, and the total investment of 45 lakhs, and he got it around 4.13. So this is the another thing I wanted to make you start thinking about it. Like most of the time when I meet a lot of people, yesterday I met a one person who was a researcher in IISc, and he was explaining me that I don't wanted to retire till I work. I said that's a very good thing. This, even if somebody given me a choice, I will try to work because I love working with the people and meet and understand and how I can help them. But I says, how we know? Nobody knows if I'm there tomorrow or not there tomorrow. So we have to make sure that we have planned, if in case the if we are no more, that our family is being taken care of. That is the one thing I wanted to put across everybody, that it is okay, because he started giving me examples. So many people are dying, and maybe what may be the reasons. Now people say vaccine, somebody says whatever it is, but average age is going to go down. So average age normally we take till 85, but in India it is 68. But upper middle class, because of the good medical I can say facilities, the average is coming to 85. So that's the one thing I always try to say to people, that plan for it. It's good if you are having a longer time, so your lifestyle goes. If it is not, your family is being taken care of. So that's another thought. I was speaking to one of the business guy, and he says, "Yeah, I have been investing in LIC insurance and all, which is endowment, will give me the lump sum money. So I think so that is taken care of my pension." So there is a lot of confusion between a pension annuity and the regular income. So that's another thing I wanted to stress here. I also have taken. So that's a good thing, which we believe and follow till date is any product we sell, we always buy in our personal portfolio, me and Anil, one of our personal portfolio, and then we sell. So whenever there is a pension plan, you have to realize it. It doesn't have, first of all, inflation. So you have to take a basic, which will take care of your basic lifestyle, and the upper lifestyle should be taken care of your by anything equity, mutual fund, PMS or stocks, whatever it is. So pension plans we normally don't recommend. The reason is these are taxable. So what is the difference when somebody else advisor versus people take? So I says, when we are looking, we try to see what is post tax impact, what is a deferred income. Make sure that it is at least minimum post tax, post inflation should be equal and greater than zero. That's the basic thing somebody has to start looking across. There are many good funds which has come and still okay, because it is 6.5 tax free, which is giving you for 25 years a regular income. That's a very good one. So you should take those instead of pension scheme if you want. Retirement planning very important for us, because we are not going to get it from our government. We have to create ourselves. Pension gratuity, whatever you get it, you have to put it across and put it in the regular income. The most of us which we are not taking care is inflation because even though we are retired, the inflation is still continuing. That's the one thing we have to make sure and take care of that part of it. So when I speak with a lot of people, they always says, "Okay, we are taking care of the inflation." But for me, I always think more than inflation, the lifestyle index is becoming much bigger than the any of the inflation which we can think of. Because nowadays, which is of course the conscious effort, I always tell in our house we try to have only one meal outside allowed. But I always say somebody, even we just don't even see that, okay, the food is 2000 or 3000, but somebody else is a full money itself. It's a 1 week's salary or a 1 month salary. But we have been going because the surplus income has come so high. So now we have started going, lot many people from, you can think of whatever I have written, restaurant, medicine, school fees. Yesterday I met somebody and I said, okay, you tell me how much is your regular expenses and we will take care of inflation plus thing when you're doing a retirement. Then he says, no, I can't tell it because my both the kids are in abroad and I pay fees of around 4 CR. So that's another trend I have seen very high going where people's surpluses are gone high and people are sending their kids for a graduation or they call there as undergrad, which is 3 to 4 years course and they are spending almost 2 crores. So that is the one thing which I have realized when we are doing a planning for a retirement, you should must take care of what lifestyle you wanted. I'm not saying somebody's lifestyle is good, bad, ugly. I said we never change our lifestyle. But yes, to continue the same lifestyle, we should, because it's very difficult to change somebody's lifestyle. So we cannot change after retirement versus here. Of course, few people are there. I know they have gone from Bangalore to Mysore and Coimbatore or the Goa. They said, okay, I'll make it as a home there as a vacation home, but I'll work from home. Or then they says that my expenses become one third. Rachna, I said that's nice because Bangalore is a costly city. Yes, but depending on the things, you may change here and there, but otherwise the lifestyle overall doesn't change. That is the another things we should always try to take care of it. Last few years I have realized it, including seeing my parents, my in-laws and all the stuff. We have never thought of a elder care is coming as a bigger thing because both the spouse, both the people are working. We may not have full time work to take care of the parents because they need somebody full time, and that itself costs around minimum 25 to 30K per month. So that's another thing I have started seeing, that retirement when you are planning, we should always try to take care of those things also. Very very important, as old scenario versus current, none of us are having a, I can say, joint family. We have been no simple living kind of it. So one of my customer has told, because of his sold his company, he has to do the tax saving and he has taken a house of 7 crores. Okay, so he called me once and maybe recently again, said, Rachna, I am getting very stressed. I said, what happened to you now? Why you're getting stressed? You are gone to the such a nice locality, 7 crore house. I was teasing, I'll sit next to your house only. Then he says, no, because my neighbor have some car which is some overall 10 crore. Manika, you don't have to see the 10 crore car, you stay which is your car is. So sometimes their lifestyle nowadays becoming as per neighbor more than them. So the complexity, the stress levels are gone high, not what your life, simple life, or what you are having lifestyle. It's sometimes it's others lifestyle also. So that is another things which I, when I do coaching to a lot of people, at least especially I've started with women, that please try to understand what is your lifestyle and what is making you happy than our neighbor happy. Make sure that we have a good corpus to take care of your lifestyle, your expense, because our lot many years previously, people used to just live 55, 60. Now our lifelong lifespan has gone much higher. That's the one thing we should make as early as possible, a retirement planning. This is the pillars, but yesterday I was talking to one of my board member and he was trying to say nowadays, Rachna, there are three major things I believe that retirement somebody should do is called three F's. So one F is first, of course, there is no other than that is finances. So you should have a good finance to support you for a vacation or have an alternative income and make sure you are able to decide. Second is fitness, very, very important part of it, how your fitness model are, how your mind and body and everything you are doing regularly. And third, which is very important, is the family and the things how you are being a socially interact, which is very important. The three F are the one of the nowadays core pillars are going across on the overall level. This is the retirement planning process where I wanted to take you through, but I will see the Excel and I'll show you the live example. Cash flow, I'll take it in the next session, as I told you. So, because that is taking it a little longer, where I will just see how the cash flow model works. And if you differs different cash flows, you can see that how your corpus has to be set aside. That is post, I can say, retirement cash flow. Whatever I am talking about is a pre retirement, how to create that corpus, what you required as an alternative income. So first and foremost is you set your retirement goal, or I can use a word called alternative goal. I have realized that there's also one thing, that word retirement goal is a very, very scary for a lot many people. So one customer has a very good portfolio, and every time he called me and he asked me, last 4 years he's been doing that, and he said, can I retire? And I said, yes, your portfolio is okay, is overachieved, you can retire. But he said, no, I have always have a fear that if I don't have enough money, what I'll do. So sometimes I always feel that it is a mind game. You have to decide, I want how much money. I want 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh per month. And this is that corpus are required. If that corpus is enough, you have full freedom to retire from the next day itself. So that is the one thing I felt, sometimes number speaks more. So set a goal for your corporate life retirement. Make sure that you have achieved, you have calculated. If not, take a professional help. There's nothing wrong in taking that. Because most of the time, when I was going through, of course, research of these three people, as I told you, that these three companies research quite a lot in intensive facts figure surveys, talks about JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, that most of the time people are not able to say how much money is required. They don't know because they're so scared ki I will do this monthly income. So I was in the financial planning, we have a very detailed how where you spend money. It's maybe like a through maid or a telephone bill or electricity bill or whatever. We have a detailed version. And this is no, Rachna, don't ask me this. I have no idea about it. I'll just tell you how much it's saved. They didn't want it to do exercise to go through this. So one fact I have felt it, when you track them, you will realize it and you may correct it. But most of us is very scared to track. So that first level of coaching, I always tell it to people, you have a wonderful thing called lot of apps. You write your expenses. I, of course, write it in before in diary and now it in Excel. But there are apps which will give you the analysis also. You spend more on a taxi or a clothing or a food or which type of food, they will tell you everything. So then you can see what best is the thing you should do it. Second is if I wanted, for example, a 1 lakh a month after 5 years, and that required a 5 crores rupees or 4 crore rupees. I'm just giving a number now. I will do the Excel. So how much I have it as of today, and whatever I have invested, what is the future value, and how much I should invest. That's a second point. What are the different incomes I have it? You may have it sometime rental incomes. You must have taken some pension plans or LIC or something that may come. You may get it a PF, PPF, gratuity retirals. And what is another? You should add across and put it into that cash flow. What are the risks I may have it? So that's another things. Most of the time, as we go closer to retirement, we become more, I can say, on debt side or take less risk. It will go equity till you're working, then it will become 70, then 50. then at 10 we will make it only 30% exposure to equity. You'd get the lesser risk. Very important, healthcare is a very important. Not only as a health insurance, you make sure that you're physically doing quite a good of health cover kind of it, and doing a physical exercise. And retirement assets, manage your retirement income and monitor in over. And this, of course, as we have a financial fitness, I'm focusing more on a retirement on a financial fitness today. Of course, above this is the health, of course. So I'm just trying to give focus today on financial fitness, because health, I'm sure all of you or somebody else will be the better person than me to talk about.
Chinese bamboo is the world's tallest grass, which goes up to as high as 80 to 90 feet in a little over 5 years. When you sow the seed and start watering and nurturing it daily, you don't see it growing for 5 years. It would be frustrating, isn't it? But wait, miracle happens after 5 years. It grows from 0 to 80 feet in less than 90 days. Similarly, growing wealth through SIP also requires a lot of patience. Had you started an SIP of rupees 10,000 in September 2010 in large cap fund, the value of your total investment of 3.6 lakh rupees would have been 3.57 lakh rupees after 3 years. Had you stopped an SIP, this temporary loss would have been permanent loss. But had you continued an SIP, at the end of the 4th year, your value of total investment of 4.8 lakh rupees would have been 6.95 lakh rupees. And if your SIP still continues till March 2019, the value of total investment of rupees 10.3 lakhs would have been 17.38 lakh rupees. Remember, correction is temporary, growth is permanent. So continue your SIP for long term to create wealth.
So in this, I just like to add on this, because most of a person, I always think that two emotions. So me, investment is actually on emotions. It's not on money. That's a lot of people have that feeling. Ki I earn less. I don't earn. I have seen people who have a salary of 2 crores. Also, they have a peanut kind of portfolio, and the person who is earning around 10 to 12 lakhs, they have an amazing portfolio. So I always felt it is an emotion, because most of us, I have seen, when they get the good salary, they spend so much and they don't invest. And some other person who has a smaller compared to them and others on overall level, they are able to invest for the long term and they are doing good. So how to take care of a fear and greed, that is a two aspect of your investing emotions. If we have conquered those, I can, without knowing you, I can tell you, you will be achieving all your goals. So I am giving you two example again. The March COVID time, March 2020, the new customer who have joined us. So I feel the advisor role is to actually manage your emotions and make you aware what is happening. Actually, rest you are having your own money and they are trying to help you to achieve that. So that lot of customer, when the market fell down, so all the old customers of ours, they started calling me that I have this much of additional income or additional money, please invest, because they have seen the past fall, and they have seen as soon as if you put it in a fall, after 18 to 2 years you will get a very good return. So they have understood the cycle and they have started it. So the new people who have not seen the fall or experienced the fall, they started calling and they says, no, nobody have seen the COVID, nobody knows before. I know you can give an example or whatever, but you please remove everything and put it in a bank or something. So we will try to explain, but at least 4 or 5 customers will be saying no. Attend, one thing I have realized it, I cannot forcefully so much, 99% I can, but 1 or 2% I will say, okay, you go ahead. I will write a disclaimer, I don't agree, but I am giving you because you asked for. And then I was explaining to somebody, and of course she came back and she says, why you didn't force me? And I said, I forced it and I wrote it to you, because sometimes we have to understand something is history repeats. Sometimes we have to understand there is a market which is the always have a cycle, irrespective of what word you can use it. Like in 92, people says a Harshad Mehta scam, it fell down. It is like a 2000 .com burst, it is fell down, or Y2K. You can think of 2007 and 8, it is the financial crisis that fell the highest. Then you just look at now in the COVID. So it is the reason is that names has changed. But market highest fall from 35 minus 35 to minus 60 has happened, and they all has recovered in 2 years. So there is nothing wrong saying that ki, okay, we will not recover, because the life will continue, the companies will come up, the recession will go down, it will come up. As the investment surplus goes, people will start spending more and the economy will do good. So that's the one thing we have to realize, not to hear the noise. Lot of noise we can see from WhatsApp or the, you can say, TV or a family, friends and other things. I always, that's a, maybe it's a, we got used to because of by age or whatever. Don't see neither the social media nor the TV or any news. I see what is in my hand, what I can control and what I cannot control. Which I cannot control, there is no point in speaking and taking stressing it out. What is in your control to regularly do the investment and make sure my family or whatever I have a financial goal I'm able to achieve. If in a COVID my retirement is not happening, my kids education is not happening, which is my two goals, why worry, continue the same. So that's the one thing you all have to start thinking of, what is in my goal and how I can make sure what is in my control, then saying that what my neighbor says, my friend says and others. So there is another doctor I went for the investment, and he came and he told that I think so we don't have a time and all the stuff, we don't, of course they earn more than what they needed, so it's okay, we don't need a risk one. So I prefer a risk free, or I can say the low risk. I said okay. And just before going, he is giving me a disclaimer. I have been heard so much from my friends and all, why don't you recommend only crypto, because I heard there is no risk. And that was like in my heart is just fallen. I don't know how to say that is the highest risk, but then I sent it across all the things that what your neighbor or a friend or a doctor has told is no risk, have the highest risk. So sometimes people go with the, I'm not saying his friends was having a wrong intention, but what you say, you have a best part is Google chat box, whatever you can think of. Do the another level of verification before you just believe in investment. So this is the best two quotes. I love it. I never miss in my any of the webinar, because these are the two emotions which I always try to stress people is discipline and patience. Irrespective, even you start with 500 rupees, you don't know how you're going to have the bigger portfolio over that period, because discipline will take 500 to 5,000 and 50,000 investment slowly. So successful investing take time, discipline and patience, no matter how great your talent and efforts. Something just take time, so you can't produce a baby in 1 month getting a 9 woman pregnant. And you have to realize that when you're making a portfolio, it's like a tree. I always believe that someone is sitting in the shade today because someone else planted a tree long back. So when you wanted portfolios to start giving you return back, you have to start doing a regular investment, start like how you do the tree with the water, with the manure, with the sunlight. It grows, it takes time, and then start giving you fruit. Similarly, it takes its own sweet time to have a power of compounding to task taking across. So I'll just show you the Excel. Please tell me if you are able to see. Can you see my Excel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what I am going to show, how to calculate the amount. When this calculation is a person who has quit, or he has, I think so, wanted to take a voluntary retirement at age of 51, and he wanted a 2 lakhs a month. So this can be any number anyway, by the way, but how we calculate is very important. Next time I will just take you the how the cash flow and the graphs works when they wanted to remove, which is a second, I can say the continuation of this webinar is. So you can add your whatever your date of birth, what is your current age and retirement age. Life expectancy is very very important. It is, we take as 85, but you can take any number. But the basic concept is that it is a genetic by nature if it is not a sudden death. So how you can find the genetic ones? You just think about your mother's side, who is the person has died as a natural death, it the oldest person. So if for example your grandmother, grandmother, sisters and other people on a mother's side, if they have lived till 90, 95, you should take expectancy this. But whatever is mother side, any of those oldest person dies a natural death should be the life expectancy. Otherwise, 85 I feel is a good number to take care, because as we take more number, the corpus goes higher. We can change the inflation. Inflation is I have taken at 6%. And when somebody started payout, we always try to say we give it a moderate risk, which is 50% in the equity or stocks and 50% in a debt or low risk. It can be bonds or a debt kind of mutual funds. So then we have to realize what is the corpus that person should have if he is a person who wanted from the next day 2 lakhs rupees. So the corpus required was 6 crore, but he has only a 5 crores. So how we have to manage that, I will take it in the next session, which is a step up approach. But I'm going to explain here how these numbers have been coming. Of course, till now it is you are just entering the data. You can make it like this 1 lakh. So it will come. So you can see that it will become so much, or on an average, if you say here 1.5 lakhs, you need it here. You if you have 55 years old, it will change this number. So I wanted to explain this formula. Of course, you can go to your Excel and do it very easily. This is inbuilt formula, which is talking about a rate. So here we are just trying to say the rate of what is my, if you see real rate of return 1.887 I have taken divided by 12 is 12 months because I need the money 12 months. Then here B8, which is talking about what is the life expectancy, means 85. And I want the money from 55 years old into 12 is 360. And I need the money at the rate which is inflation linked at 1.5 lakhs. So what this money means, so if I'm retired, for this person, of course, he's already retired. So if he has a 4.12, which is already he have it, I will be able to get monthly income or alternative income of 1.5 lakhs, which is inflation linked till 85 years. How we have calculated the inflation linked is through the real rate of return. So I'm not going into the formula now. I'll give you the overall level how it comes. Real rate of return is I'm expecting 8% returns. Means 8% is coming and 6% is going because 6% is as inflation. So approximately round off 2% is my delta money which my portfolio is going to grow. Okay, and that is what we should make sure whenever we do the alternative income, we should make sure that you take care of an inflation linked. Very, very important. Most of us, when I have seen people who have done it in the past or themselves, they don't take a inflation linked. Of course, there are many more versions which we try to do for, of course, for the customer. Whenever the money attend, they have to pay the tax. We try to give it from the portfolio, so it will take care of that also. So this is a pre-taxed, but after sometimes when we start making a cash flows, we start doing in a post-tax perspective also. So I'll go back to my presentation. You're able to see?
Yes,
So these are the common mistake people do while investing. Don't have an unrealistic return from the expectations, and that created a lot of anxiety. And this is missold. This is what. So I have so many times. One of my customer has come and told that MetLife has they have taken long back, and lot of course we have put it a grievance for IRD also. So many people are calling and saying that, okay, we will give you 25% return and then two in a ULIP. And I was telling, how the hell somebody can give ULIP 25%? I have last 15 years, I have never seen. So I'm not saying they were telling right or wrong because they have shown only last 2 years the growth of a NAV. But whenever you see, I always says, even we have our PMS, we have been doing amazingly touchwood good in the last 3 years, 4 years, it is coming in 30s. But when somebody called me for a new customer on a PMS, I said, you can have a tea with me and go because there is no way we will give 30 or 40% returns. That's a good bonus. Last 3 years we have been giving, and it's not necessary that it will give you next 3 years also. There is a disclaimer. So if you see, the easiest way of seeing is to see the similar index. If it is a mid and small cap, you will get 16 to 18%, keeping 5 years perspective. If it is a large cap or you can say multi cap, and like you can take a Nifty or Sensex, it will be around 14.4 odd percentage, depending on when you're taking. It's between 12.2 to 14, it will come. So you should have a realistic returns because most of the time people just say, I'll give you 30 or 40%. I don't know, you have gone through these things last few days. SEBI is also trying very hard to make sure that influencer doesn't do. One of the person he's got caught because he charged quite a lot of money, around 1.9 crore in a training. And by mistake, when he showed his portfolio was fully negative, and he's teaching how to make money 5 times. So I always tell it is good to see. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong in training, but yes, we should be able. I have always tell somebody says, Rachna, he's just taking a 7,000 bucks. And I said, if somebody is giving me training in 7,000 to make a double or triple, he doesn't need to give the training at 7,000. He will be somewhere else. Otherwise, you have to find it out what is the reason that people are doing. So, what are the design to make your dream life focus on passive income when you are earning? That's the best way to look at. Investing in mutual fund, there's no doubt till you have the all the I can say working easiest way, simpler way. Then as your portfolio grows, then you can start adding a different asset class and a different products. Maybe use PMS, AIF, international fund. A lot of people nowadays start asking VC funds or startup funds, kind of it. I always believe first you should have a basic concept of investment. Make sure your all the goals are achieved. Then you can take whatever risk and then things you have been doing. These questions you should ask yourself when you're planning for retirement planning. What is my family budget? Do I have an adequate family corpus or not? How much I can take a risk on my capital or not? What is inheritance and how I am planning to do inheritance? And factor without fail is your rising and the inflation. These are the tips I personally feel. Have a emergency fund or contingency fund of your lifestyle, 3 to 6 months in FDs. Very good health cover. Nowadays health covers are top ups are coming around 5 lakhs base and 45 top up, which is very cheap. Please take it. Good, take life, pure life insurance, term cover I mean. And if in case you have a debt, please make sure double that. And maximize your provident fund voluntary because it will give a good one. Make sure all your loans getting closed at least, or otherwise your portfolio have to take care of those EMIs. Think post tax, post inflation kind of it, and then you do the analysis. So I'll just do this and I'll start giving as a legacy part how to take care of it. There are a few things as I again repeating. These are fact and figures come from these three different research report given by JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Sun Life. These facts are surveys are not done by us. What are the most important things which you wanted to give to others in the next generations? Of course, value and life lesson, there is no second thought about it. That's where that goes to the next level. Instructions and what you wanted to say. So, of course, I'll give my example itself. My mom, when we were bringing her back from hospital, she was very clear that I wanted to have my funeral with the wooden fire, not with the electric fire. So She was very clear what she wants, which temple to go with. So most of those instructions people will try to give it across. These are emotional. I'm not putting like this good effort so much in this, but financial asset, yes. Make sure that you have a will, trust, and all. Being myself in this, I have seen a lot more. My mom, almost 8 months over, still we are struggling to convert everything because somewhere in Aadhaar, my dad's name is R.S. Saxena and passport is Risheshwar Sai Saxena, and one place is only Saxena and RS. So those things made a lot more difference. And one thing I wanted to tell you, please try to see Aadhaar, PAN, passports are all in the sync in the same name. Being in India, I have seen a lot of people have a different combinations of those, and that takes much tougher if somebody like my mom is not there, a nominee was my dad. Personal, how you can give a professional emotional value to the somebody who is, so we always try to see whenever we do planning that you bring your spouse, you get your second generation, how to take care of that. Very important part. Even they understood or not, but they should be aware of what they are doing. So having affair in order, very important. Make sure that you have a will, trust, nomination done as per the naming conventions and everything. Document to express, very important part, which I have done around 2013 or 14. I did first time to write my will because that was the first time me and Anil was going alone for a vacation, and middle of the I think so flight, I said if we both die what will happen. And then I said okay, I'll come back, and I said okay, we will make the, in case we both are not there, how the, of course, office, the good thing is we had a board member who said he will take care and other things, but for home also how we will take care. And after my mom passed is the first time I made the will with this picture based for a jewelry which is emotional linked or not emotional linked, and who should take care. So these are the learnings. Of course, when it happens to you, you become more detailed oriented. How to make sure that your life covers your all the expenses. Some of them you will find this is quite US and Canada based because the survey is done by that. It may not be here in India. We don't have that concept of covering that own funeral cost. But yes, they had it, of course, apart from that regular life and discussion to how to make sure to the legacy, how to do that part of it. So this is very important. How you should have a will, take care of healthcare and power of attorney. You should make sure you should have it. There are two people who always try to influence when you are retired. It's family friend, and you should have a financial profession, which is the things people are being utilizing is all about. Planning for a legacy, you set your retirement goal, figure out how ready you are for retirement, and make sure the roadmap is taken care of. So with this, I surrender my first part of retirement planning and a legacy. There are many more facts, figures, soft, and the cash flow, which is going to do it in the next session. I hope you continue. Otherwise, you can see in the video of the next time when I'm doing. But I'm happy to take any questions now.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we are already having few questions in the Q&A section. So we can take it.
Is it not too much risk to take MF or equity as only SWP is a pension payout PH? So when I was showing the SWP, whenever we do SWP, we do it from the debt fund. So SWP option is that you create the corpus through your equity when you are almost like a retiral or what. So we use the two function as a hybrid fund, which is a interim we call a goal or a bucket, and the payout always done from the retirement debt funds or a liquid funds. So it's a creation is done by equity and the payouts are done by the debt fund. That's a way cash flow is. So the next time when I'm showing, so you will see the only payout will happen the from debt funds. We don't have any payouts whenever we do. Yeah, now we become like a well versed because so many customer we have been doing for last so many years the payouts. So it'll be a round robin kind of it. You have a, like a 30% in equity, 30% in hybrid, and 30% in a debt. So we will give from a debt and then we replenish, and then from hybrid it will go to the debt, and equity it goes to the hybrid, and that's a circle it keeps going across. So I'm 34 years old. What will be the retirement plan for me? It depends on you when you want to retire. As I told you, retirement is not on age; it is on the, I can say, what you love to do, and you wanted a regular income. So if your regular income you wanted a 1 lakh a month, you should have a corpus till 85 or something. This is the another things coming quite a lot. I have recently done one of the customers onboarding on. He says, Rachna, I have sold my company and I wanted a break for 3 years. You give me the regular income around 2 lakhs a month for 3 years, and after 3 years, I will do something, maybe become a part of a directors of some few startups or few company to utilize my knowledge or start teaching. So it may give me the basic, the rest we will try to do it. So there is a lot of people have a lot more combinations when they do these kind of retirement planning. They says that I may not want a corporate. I may reduce, instead of earning so much, I may reduce which is not required to give you payout, but I may not invest also. So last few years, a lot of people who have retired from corporate around 45 plus, they have been doing 1 day or 2 days consulting. They have been doing training into the colleges. They are being a part of few startups kind of it. So they may not get the money, but they may have a equity. Sometime it says even if I'm in 10 startups, one startup works, I may get it some money. But the intention at end was to how to take care of your knowledge to give it to others. So that's what has been happening. There are different people having a retirement plan. Thank you, Manoj. And ma'am, I'm due to retire in 6 months. How to invest my 3 crores in pension of 90? So I can do this Excel, but if Sanjay send it, I'm sure you will be able to achieve. There is a, in a US they call a 4% plan, and we always say here at least 6%. So whatever is your corpus, multiply by 6% divided by 12, you will easily get it with inflation linked. So that's the easiest way of doing. But if you want in a more detail, you can ask Sanjay to help you out, or I can help you when it's required. Why is the real rate return is 8.77 for, I have utilized, if you see in that Excel, it is called 8% as the interest returns I'm getting, and 6% is I have taken as the inflation. So as per the formula, it is 8 minus 6 divided by 1 plus 6 percentage in a denominator. So that will come as 1.887 as a real rate of return. That's a formula for real rate of return. How risky is AIF and how much CAGR you can expect? So personally, we are also applying for AIF. So because we are looking for a family office quite a lot, and lot of people, I have realized this: the people, if they have more money, they want a different products more than anything else. So I was, even though as a person I'm very conservative, so people who have 200 crore, 500 crore and all, for them, AIF was not an issue because it's a minimum of 1 crore, and they feel it's a different theme based. You have a hedge fund, you have it a REIT, you have it non-listed stocks, you have quite a lot of things. Options are there in CAT 1, 2, 3. But yes, post tax, I have seen not a, I can say debt side will give you 16 to 17% because AIF have a trust which is having a taxation at 44%. So when they give the return, they normally tell about the without tax, because most of the funds tell without tax. But when it comes in a hand of an investor, it is normally around 16 to 18% returns in AIF. Normally, I don't give any option to AIF who has a less than 10 crore in a portfolio. The reason is AIF is the one thing which get 1 crore in a single fund. Second thing is minimum lock-in is for 6 to 7 years. Third year is in CAT 2, most of the people go to the CAT 2. I'm talking about CAT 1 is start listing is 25 lakhs, otherwise it's a 1 crore. So it's like you have a 10 startup, one may work, one may not work. So that's the risk is very high. So risk, if you wanted to take, you should take only when your all goals are achievable and you wanted to do that money. So I will recommend those people, not on an average. Can we expect 20% CAGR? if you are in a mid and small cap, yes, around 18 to 20 we are also having from since inception. But yes, only in a mid and small cap PMS has given, but not also. If so, that's another fact. I have seen a lot of PMS house, when the things doesn't go, they will stop that series and they'll start the new series, and then they will do it. So I always says it is easier to go back and find it out from their product co-founder or fund managers how they do. But 18 to 20 is okay only in mid and small. I normally say to any of at least my customer, not right horizon customers, because they sometimes see only the past return and they say come. You should expect multi I can say flexi kind of it, or multi cap or large cap 14 to 15 in a longer term, because it is a after fees. So it's not doing this, it's after fees. And if you're doing a mid and small, 16 to 18, we have always given. But yes, as per our data, at least it comes 20. But don't expect, but yeah, 20 normally comes. Why do you avoid pension plan for retirement people? I don't avoid people. I'm saying you have an alternative mention, because one way of you is like a leaking bucket. You are filling the bucket and it's having a hole, so it keeps going down, correct? So you, if you are keep filling it up and the leaking happens, you are not going to gain it. So similarly, when you're paying the tax, so you have to start looking across that how much money I'm giving, which is tax free or not. So pension and annuity by nature, it's added to the income, and if you are above 10 lakhs, you are paying 30% tax. So why don't you take similar product which is giving you maybe around 6% to 6.5 tax free, which is the longest way. So which is a very, very good. So I have taken LIC 65K annually. Now I regret. I always tell there's nothing called regret. It's a learning. And there's nothing wrong in LIC or something. You have taken for a life cover and they give normally 5 to 5.5% return, which is a fixed. Good to go. But maybe you have to realize this investment you wanted for what reason. You can diversify in a future, maybe. I have paid for 4 years. Should I surrender? I never tell anybody to surrender, because your surrender value will be very, very low. And I am assuming it's a traditional plan, not a ULIP. Otherwise, you must have taken one more year and take the what is the valuation. I'm 32. I'm plan to take term cover for this. Should I stop paying LIC? Please don't stop paying LIC, but take a good term cover. Whenever anybody takes term cover, let's look at what is the claim ratio and what is the premium. Take for 4 and 5, which is the least premium. Please go ahead and do it.